What is going on, guys? Rewinds here, and in this video we are going to be talking about the Boruto 2 Blue Vortex manga. We are going to be talking about Eida's potential dark fate. So this video is kind of sparked by some of the stuff going on right now, especially with some of the stuff Kashin Koji has said, as well as Eida being the target, the prime target actually, of Mamushi, and with Eida being the one who's being shielded right now from Mamushi. Will she meet her end in this arc in Boruto 2 Blue Vortex? So we're going to talk about that possibility, and we're going to talk about potential repercussions if that does happen. So, first things first. At least as of the end of chapter 29, Kashin Koji does not seem happy with how the battle is currently progressing. Although Inojin does, and Inojin feels like they've been doing pretty good because Boruto took out a lot of Mamushi as well as Kawaki, and Team 10 and Himawari were doing good at the end there too in the last couple pages. So Inojin is feeling good, but Kashin Koji's looking on serious and silent. So he's not happy right now, or he doesn't feel like they're out of the woods just yet, is what it seems like. Now, I feel like part of this has to do with Kashin Koji's desired number of Mamushi that he wanted to be the sweet spot of Mamushi's intellect being dumbed down, and just that ideal number of them being able to take Mamushi down being from 20 to 30. However, Mamushi right now is sitting at a total of 50, which is a pretty solid amount over what Koji wanted, even though you should think that since there's 50, they will definitely be a lot dumber on average than what they would be if it were 20 to 30. But 50 might be too much to contain and isn't ideal, so 20 to 30 is that sweet spot they want to get to, and they're not there yet. So he could be making that face just because of that, but he could also be making that face simply because maybe reality has not changed yet, or there's a chance they're not out of the woods yet, because he has told Inojin about the possibility of Himawari dying as well as Eida. And he told Inojin that it would be pretty ideal, no, to avoid any reality really where Himawari or Eida do die, because they're such pivotal pieces. So pretty much that prompts the question now, has that reality changed of Eida getting consumed, by the divine tree creature, Mamushi? Or has that reality changed of her dying in this battle as well? And right now, Koji doesn't seem too convinced, so I'm not too convinced yet either. And I want to say that if we get to that point where Eida does die, it could be really, really bad for the village, simply because her ability is so useful, especially when it comes to playing back the events that have already occurred in the past. Although Mamushi is someone that she can't really observe in live time, and the rest of the Shinju as a result, she can pretty much see all the other people in live time, no issues, no problem. But she can view back events of Mamushi as well, playing them back in time, and making sure that any important intel is reported to Shikamaru, as well as reported to anyone, well, really mostly Shikamaru, but like even to Koji, let's say, if necessary. And that's where I feel like her being taken out would be a big disadvantage, because she is such a big information provider, and I feel like that's a very useful end that she has. We also know that she has that omnipotence ability as well, that she used to pretty much flip reality here, even though that wasn't on purpose by her per se, but it ended up happening. And then on top of that, we know that Eida has the ability to attract people, and I feel like that one, I mean, with the Shinju, we know that's not really doing much because they're godlike beings, but for a character like, let's say, Code, that could be important, because Eida might be able to pull some strings regarding Code if she sticks around, for example, and that can happen again thanks to her ability. So I feel like Eida is going to be, well, Eida is a very useful character, and she would be very useful to still have around, of course. And it would be a big hit to the village, especially when it comes to getting blindsided by attacks and such if she is no longer around. So they do want to avoid that possibility because the repercussions of her going out can be very, very strong, and that could ultimately be one of the things that leads to the village being destroyed. Perhaps, let's say, how we saw in the start of Boruto in general in episode 1 or manga chapter 1, whichever one you want to reference to. Something definitely goes south to get us to that point. And I'm interested to see what it's going to be. But I feel like she's a character that, since she has a couple of broken abilities, I think that it's still possible that they write this arc in a way where Mamushi does end up getting to her. I don't see Himawari going out personally this arc, but that's just my opinion. But Eida definitely could be a tough one. And I do want to talk about also real quick about Damon, because we haven't seen Damon fight since Boruto, Naruto Next Generations, around, I think it was chapter 70, 71, when Code got his limiters removed and he had that whole fight with Damon, and Damon basically flexed on him. And we know Damon is very strong. We also had a little moment of Damon pulling up on Sarada and Sumire as well to demonstrate his power pretty recently. But we haven't seen Damon fight seriously really into Blue Vortex yet. But this is going to be a battle to protect his sister, so he's definitely going to chime in. The question is, though, is the numbers game going to be too much for him? Because Damon is a very broken character. He has some hacks, but we've only seen him really fight more so in a one-on-one situation rather than a multi-person situation per se. We haven't gotten too much exposure to that, so it'll be interesting to see if the numbers game of Mamushi might end up helping Mamushi break through Damon's hacks in a way, and if he's able to break through Damon's broken abilities, what's going to stop him from actually getting to Eida this time around. And clearly, from Koji's vision, he's been able to do that before, or some of the Shinju have helped him do that before, because there is a vision that Koji has seen with Eida pretty much taken out. So, although Damon might be a pretty strong character, is he strong enough? That's going to be something we're going to have to find out. Hopefully, coming up in chapter 30 and 31, we're going to start getting Damon involved, because I'm not going to lie, we definitely have some people that are hyping him up a lot, and I want to see personally if he's a character that's going to live up to that hype in a big battle like this, especially when it comes to him, pretty much fighting to protect his sister. So it's going to be interesting. But all in all, yeah, repercussions of Eida going out are going to be huge if it happens. They need to do everything they can to make sure they can protect her. But if she does end up going out, might be rough for the village for sure, unless some Shinju are taken out in the process right now. But who knows? And one other thing I want to touch on is the possibility of Eida getting consumed is also increased simply because we haven't seen a Shinju or Divine Creature get a target yet. We haven't seen them actually consume one. So I feel like that's going to be something we get to see with at least one of the characters getting to their target, because if that ultimately ends up happening, I believe that that'll really take the Shinju that ends up getting that consumption to another level. And if that happens, I think that'll be one of those things where we're like, okay, these guys are even tougher now or at another level. If Jura, for example, somehow got that, I don't know if Boruto, even with this help of Momoshiki, will be able to take care of him. But we'll see how they progress. So definitely let me know in the comments below what you guys think of Eida potentially meeting a sad end in the comments below. Do you guys think it's going to happen? Do you guys feel like Eida is going to be someone who's just going to make it to way later in the story, or to the end even, and just live on? What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments below. But that's going to be it for this one. If you guys did enjoy the video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe to my channel if you guys are new. And as always, I hope you guys have a good day or night whenever you guys are watching this video. I'm Rewinds, and I'm out.